What is up, everybody? I am RenaMarq, your modern Renaissance content creator, your friendly neighborhood content creator, and I am with an amazing content creator for this episode of Per-Sception. This is TGIKendra, an amazing content creator, streamer, dancer, model, beauty guru,
Oh,
an
nah.
amazing person. Even bust out some freestyles if you
Nah.
really TGIKendra, what is up? What's
How
up?
you doing, Mark?
I'm
I'm
chilling.
good. I'm good. I hope you're doing good.
I am. Thank you.
I know we were just talking about the cold weather outside, but I'm still happy. Still going. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Is this your first interview of the year?
Yes, actually. Yes, it is, actually. Yeah.
I feel lucky.
Oh, I feel honored. I truly do feel honored. Like I was telling you, this Per-Sception like series that I do is really to talk and bring light just to people that inspire me. You are definitely one of those people. Just in the content creating space, in the streaming space, music space, whatever creative endeavor that I'm usually inspired by. I would like to talk to people in that realm that I feel can just have great conversation. So this is literally what this is about, and definitely you definitely came to my mind, and I'm just honored that you agreed. So thank you.
Of course. Yeah, I was honored to even be asked. So all of you said so many nice things, and I was like, wow, me. So but I have no issue with having a talk and having a chat and talking about myself. So I was down for it for sure.
Awesome, awesome, and let's get started. Let's get started. Definitely don't want to keep too much of your time. Um, so first question out the gate. As a dancer, as a model, as a content creator, as a streamer, out of those, how do you tackle each of your passions? Like, do you have one creative process that delves into each category, or do you individualize your creative process for each thing?
Wow. So that's a thought provoking one out the gate. Well, first of all, yeah, I probably should expound on just my background and like
Yes.
life and things. So yeah, my name is Kendra. I born and raised in Kentucky, so I'm a Kentucky native. But I do live in Atlanta, Georgia. I always wanted to move to Atlanta. Ever since I was little, finally did it when I graduated. Woo.
Ooh.
So I'm down here. In high school, I actually did technical theater. So for those who don't know what that is, that's basically lighting, sound design, costume, carpentry, all of those things. I did that for 4 years. I worked on like 16 different shows in high school. I know. Wow.
Wow.
It was an interesting program. By the time you get done with the program, you're like you have more shows under your belt than I don't know someone 3-4 years into their own career. But so that was really fun. But I really wanted to do special effects and stuff in movies. That's what I wanted to do since I was younger. I think I started out when I was younger wanted to work on video games, right? And that kind of developed more so into film and animation and how I really looked up to that. So then I went on to college and went to I didn't go to animation or get a degree in special effects or anything. I went to something I don't want to say it was more attainable, but it was more attainable at the time. I went to college in state, and I ended up going to a graphic design program. So I got my degree in graphic design, went from there, and now I work in advertising as a creative director, so art director, which I love. And I say that too. I say that as part of my spiels that I'm a graphic designer as well. So it is a lot to like. Juggle, I guess, but I feel like it all works. I've always just been super artistic. And I feel like that all the things that I like have their specific art skill or whatever. So graphic designer, that kind of just made its way in there, you know, from what I wanted to do when I was younger, and then what I ended up doing in actual. But I've always actually loved to dance too. So I've been dancing since I was 11. Not really trained, just self-taught dancing in church. And then on a couple of teams in high school and in college as well. Dance is like my go-to for like creative expression and just like even just getting nerves out. That's my go-to. That's what I do for dance. And then modeling kind of came about a little bit later. I started thinking about modeling in high school. My mom actually used to model a little bit when she was younger, in her early 20s, late teens. And she always used to tell me about it. So I think that's kind of where that started. And I actually began doing more so runway. So just walking and certain for school, for smaller things for school, in high school, and then in college we actually had like this big international fashion show in college that I would like to walk in, which was super fun. And from there, when I moved, I was like, you know, I kind of want to get into like modeling, but you know, for doing photo shoots and stuff. So when I moved and kind of to help me get acclimated to Atlanta too, I started to go out a little bit more and go to some modeling events and reach out to certain agencies and stuff like that. So that's where that one kind of ramped up. That one kind of ramped up after college. And then gaming, gaming has always been there technically, you know, just like anybody else. I've played games when I was little. Up until there was in some point in time, I didn't have a system anymore, so I couldn't really game myself. So I began to like watch people on YouTube.
Right.
And from watching people on YouTube, I somehow found Twitch from there. And, you know, seeing other people do it, even before I came to Twitch, I was thinking, hey, I feel like I could do something like this, you know? And then when I found Twitch, it opened me up to a plethora of Black women who were doing it and doing what I wanted to do. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. So after saying all of that and working my way back to your question, there a lot of the times right now they're pretty siloed. They're pretty separate. And when I started my channel, I started it with an idea of trying to figure out how to make those things work together in my content. And you know, I'm still actually working it out, but I try here and there to bring some of the things in there. Dance, I just, you know, I try to post in terms of my content across channels and not just on Twitch. You know, I try to post when I'm going to dance class and when I actually feel comfortable with the dance. You know, I post that, and I even try to post the mess up sometimes just to get people who might feel, you know, like, oh, I used to dance, but I can't anymore because I'm rusty. No, it's fine. Like, you know, it's okay to mess up. We all mess up, type of thing. And then even with my modeling more so makes a presence on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. But I still try to like, in my mind, I'm like, how can I get all of these little things into my Twitch channel? Like, what can I do with modeling or dance that can help integrate? So more to come on that hopefully in the future, but definitely with graphic design, that one's pretty easily integrated into my channel because I create all of my, you know, scenes. I create all of my created all of my channel artwork, from the banners to the what are the things in the
panels?
The panels to the panels, to even some of the very, very basic animations for the alerts. I, you know, got to work my way up there. I'm still learning animation, but so that one's actually pretty easy to integrate, and I do that every day at work anyway. So yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay, yeah, I didn't your experience, your background of experience that you have such a wealth of, like you have like a full wealth of so many different experience, that is definitely one of the reasons why I and so many others see you as such a creative person, and why it does look a lot more like natural for you to be so creative in a lot of the different endeavors that you do, which is fantastic. And with that, I would ask, going into just to piggyback off something that you said, going into what you do now in terms of advertising in graphic design, do you do you use those skills for things like outside of streaming, like outside of like the creative process, but more like the networking, more like the communication of it all? Like, do you use those skills in like advertising and how to kind of blend creativity and communication in that way?
Interesting. So like using specifically what I do at my job elsewhere or what I do on stream elsewhere
More so
at
what
my
you
job.
do with advertising. Like, how do you take what you kind of do in your career and put
Mhm.
it to everything else that you do outward?
Okay. That's a good question. And I might have to ponder a little bit because I don't think I do. So a little bit more about what I do.
Hmm.
So I work at a full service agency, and what that means, we can do anything from social to print to TV to radio to whatever our clients want.
Right.
And we deal with clients, from Home Depot to Publix to whatever, what have you. So the clients I specifically work on, we mostly just do their social.
Mm.
So um, I think it's more so that my point of view on things is heavily influenced rather than kind of me outwardly using what I do at work. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Because in advertising, and since my clients are mostly social media based, even if my clients weren't social media based, every client has a social page,
Right.
right? So we have to think very social at work, very social. I'm always on social. I'm always on Instagram, always trying to look for stuff on TikTok, Twitter. So even when I'm on those platforms in my personal life, I'm still looking at them through a certain lens.
Hmm.
Um, and then when I hear, so for example, shout out to X Mirror Mirror. Um,
Shout out.
I've been listening in on X Mirror Mirror's Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, shout out to those.
Yeah, those are dope, and they're geared towards helping streamers or people who want to become streamers or just streamers get better at promoting themselves, or doing what they can to grow their brand and their communities. So listening in on those, and a lot of the conversations have to do with working with clients and working with agencies like mine. So it's interesting to listen in on conversations like that, and then call back to some of the things that I do at work on a daily basis, or just even not even just myself directly, but just working with all of my teams that are in the agency, like the different teams um that might come in contact with an influencer like us,
Hmm.
um
Right.
and how that dynamic is very interesting. And then from work, thinking about what I do on Twitch, and trying to take it seriously, it's like I kind of have the inside look a little bit on how to market myself a little bit. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I do, have a certain lens, and I feel like, you know, kind of it's basically I feel like I'm not starting from the ground up when it comes to that, because I have the inside. I know what companies might be looking for, or what you might need, or how you might want to talk to a company.
Right.
So I don't know if they answered the question, but
No, that perfectly answered the question, because not only like I think it answered the question perfectly, because you to piggyback in something to what I realized is that you're able to, whether it's through career or through just passion and what you're doing now, even in on however way you go through, you are able to pick up patterns. You're able
Mhm.
to kind of pick up patterns, being able to be on social in your leisure time, just like you're on your socials at work. You're able to pick up patterns on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter, and to be able to have that knowledge just kind of storing up and being able to, even if it's subconsciously, being able to use it. That's
Mhm.
like you said, like that lets you not, be able to not start from the ground up, where many streamers, many influencers, or many people up and coming have to learn that. And
Mhm.
that's such a hard thing to learn, because you have to, with like communication and networking and learning like how to manage yourself as a brand or socials, and learning how to become the creative to becoming the brand, like that's more so you have to learn that through experience. So you having both sides, you being able to flip that coin and have experience on both sides of that coin, answer that perfectly.
Good. Yay. Yeah.
um
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an interesting position to be in, for sure, to see both
like that.
sides.
I like that.
Yeah.
Being in culturally, being
Mhm.
in Atlanta, some say
Mhm.
the mecca of culture.
I
How
would
do
say that,
you
yes.
how do you
Proceed.
how do you feel like being in Atlanta? How do you manage, like, did that kind of open, what kind of eyes did that open from going from where you started to where you're at now, just being in such a cultural melting pot with
Mhm.
opportunities?
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, that's so one of the reasons I wanted to move to Atlanta since I was growing up is because from what I saw, even though I saw very little, I
Hmm.
visited a couple times. Some of my family lives down here. Visited a couple times, and just from that little exposure, I was like, this is somewhere I want to be. But after moving, I definitely was able to really see, like, yeah, this is somewhere I want to be. It's just very inspiring to be down here for sure, especially coming from coming from a place where everywhere you look is people who don't look like you,
Hmm.
um or not necessarily people who don't look like you, but the same type of person that doesn't look like you, if that makes
I
sense.
Yeah.
So down here I'm seeing people, a hell of people that look like me. So it's crazy, the the amount of people that look like me. But I'm also seeing more of other types of people.
Hmm.
So Latinx people, people from different parts of Asia,
Right.
people from South America. So I'm getting a lot of everything, and like you said, it's really like a cultural melting pot. I know
Right.
some people don't like the word melting pot, but it is. It
True.
is.
Right.
It is. It is. So it's very inspiring. And then one I remember thinking one day I was on the way to the mall. I was on the way to Lenox Mall, which is in Buckhead. Some people might know what I'm talking about. Some people might, but in Buckhead, and this was when I was kind of fresh still. It was very early when I moved down here, and I was going to the mall. I forgot even why. It must have been a weekend, but people were still working, I think, because I could see people coming down from the office buildings right across from the mall, and they
Right.
still had on their suits and stuff, so they was working. It was like their lunch break, but they were all black, and I'm like, look at all these black people in suits coming down from this office building in the middle of Buckhead, one of the what's the word? One of the more affluent
Yeah.
areas
There we go. There we
in
go.
Atlanta,
Okay.
in
You got
Buckhead,
it.
going to the mall on their lunch break, just leisurely, like, you know. And then I look around in the parking lot, and then I see more black people stepping out of Rolls Royces and Mercedes Benz and BMWs and Ferraris, and, like, it's
Yeah.
just,
Oh my god.
even if it's because people talk about, oh, that's just for show. They probably renting that. Okay, but it's
They
still good
still
to
rented
see.
it though.
It you still rented it. No,
Like,
um, it's still good to see. I feel like it's important to see that, because back home, nah, not that it's not that not many black people back home would be in a suit, but it's just like it's just that it's a different type of environment. I feel like, you know, than what I grew up in. So it definitely lights a fire under me
right.
specifically. Some people may feel differently. Some people like different environments. But being down here lights a fire underneath me for sure.
Nice. That's
Mhm.
amazing. And to delve into that a little bit more, is there a certain community of all your passions? I know graphic design, you dancing, modeling, streaming, content creating, gaming. Like, is there a community that you gravitated to? Not saying that you like one more than the other. I'm not saying that, but
Mhm.
like, is there one that you see yourself being in Atlanta where all of those communities exist because there's so
Mhm.
many people? Do you find yourself gravitating to one? Did you find yourself gravitating to one?
Oh wow, that's a good question. For specifically Atlanta? Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, so for specifically Atlanta, I would probably say like that just the entertainment industry in general, I feel like I gravitate toward. So that includes both dance and modeling.
Right.
Um, because as I was trying to one, get to know people down here, finding people I can connect with, and then also just, work on my passions and work on my skills. Uh, I was going to different modeling events or I would go to different dance classes, talk to people. And I just feel comfortable, especially in dance. Like when I go to certain dance classes, I just feel comfortable. Whether it's the teacher or the people in the class with me. Even if I don't even talk to anybody that day, I just feel really comfortable. So I would say probably the entertainment industry, even though I haven't broken into it really as much as I would like yet.
Mm-hmm.
But just being in the space is really nice. Now, in terms of the which one of those communities in general, I feel like gaming, um, the gaming community, I feel like I've jumped into that so like head first, so deeper than I thought, like deeper than I thought I would ever, because man, the way Twitch has engulfed my life. Um
Yeah.
and it feels good. And it feels
Right.
good that it has. I came to Twitch kind of reluctantly. I didn't really want to come on Twitch because I was already on YouTube. Like
Got you.
I was watching people on YouTube. I had already technically created my channel on YouTube, or was about to, I think, when I found Twitch. But one of the women I watch on Twitch, Kia, hilarious. If you
Shout
don't
out to
know
Kia.
her, Kia is hilarious. I ended up following her to her Twitch channel, and from there she ended up rating Story Mode Bay, and after that it was a wrap.
Yeah.
Like I did,
Of course.
after that, that's the head first, like oh, like open a hole, like
You was about to hit that note. I heard it.
But yeah, it's definitely, I've met so many friends in the gaming community, super close friends. Since then, it's only been like 2.5 years since I found Twitch. Now, since I started my channel, that's a different thing, but it's like 2.5 years since I got on Twitch, and it's just kind of life changing, Loki.
It is, right?
Yeah. But it's definitely hard to say though,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm thinking about all of them. And like you said, I can't really pick which one I like the most.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna put you on that hot seat. I wasn't gonna do that to you. I wasn't gonna do it. To get into more of a mental space here. Are there times 2.5 years on Twitch, and of course countless years building and in the making of doing other passions? How do you balance so many passions and just you, like your mental health? Like, how do you feel? Like, how do you help balance that? Where I know, because you're a content creator, a lot of times your passion turns into work.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like you said, like you use dancing for like creative expression, but also like you're looking to integrate and you're thinking of ways to integrate that type of creative expression into content, into creation. So how do you balance just that mentally, and knowing when is it for creative expression and when is it just to please your passion versus when is it work, and how do you balance just your time?
Mm-hmm. Um. Well, content creation so far to me, in terms of gaming and being on Twitch and stuff, hasn't yet become so heavy to where it feels like it's a job. It's still very fun to me,
Right.
and still very lax, and still very. I feel which you should always feel like this. I feel a lot of ownership over it. So if in terms of if I feel tired, I will definitely get in my Discord and be like, "Hey y'all, I will see y'all another day. So I definitely try to keep that in mind. Sometimes though, I will say, like, sometimes when I do say that in Discord, there's time, I'm human. There's times where I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm being lazy, like,
Yeah.
but I know that that's just, something that everybody does, and I'm not being lazy. I'm just, taking care of myself. If,
Right.
my body tells me one thing, I should do it, So it hasn't really, all of them together haven't really become a burden as of yet. But I think that's also because some of them, it's like an ebb and flow type of thing. Some of them have a lot more going on than others at certain times, and then the other ones spike up at certain times too. So it kind of low-key gives me the ability or the bandwidth to handle one or the other. So I would say the two that take up the majority of my time are gaming and work, and those two clash quite often. They'll clash quite often because sometimes work, just like the other three, it even ebbs and flows. Depends, like within our industry, sometimes I have very little work, and sometimes like, y'all, I've been working like 10 hours today. I'm not gonna stream. Like, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired from work. I'm not gonna do it. So, I don't know if that answers the questions, but I hope to keep that somewhat of a balance. I don't really know if it's a balance per se, but I hope to keep that in the future of, okay, I really can step back a little bit because this has been too much. Right. So I'm going to step back a little bit so that everything doesn't become too much,
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely get that. And trust me, believe you are knocking these answers out the park. You ain't got like, because
I'm just making the answer out.
You got it. Because
talking.
And that's perfect. And because that's exactly what I like this to be. And I like that you said that. And I think that, like you said, like the thing that helps balance the most is your understanding that each pocket ebbs and flows. So you're always, in a way, even if it's subconsciously, you're always somewhat prepared. Like, you're prepared to, so like if something starts to spike, you're like, okay, this is part of the ebb and flow. Like, you're not like, of course it can spike up at any point, and I know it could catch you off guard.
It might.
I know it could catch you off guard. and that's, but the beauty is to just have that that type of method, and even if it's subconsciously, even if it's in the background, to be like, okay, I understand what's happening, because that a lot of the times that's where a lot of people feel overwhelmed, because things happen and they don't understand that it's happening until it's too late.
Right.
So I think that that's actually like a really good way to a really good answer on just balance and knowing different parts of your mental state to know when things are coming and going.
And I will say, part of that is me already, because I do value, mental health.
Right.
But part of that is also hearing a bunch of other streamers preach about mental health and being okay with taking time off and being okay with not streaming sometimes, or just taking care of yourself. So like, I think it's really important that streamers continue to say that, whether it's inspiring another streamer to do the same, or just people in their everyday lives, like who don't stream but still need to hear that. I think it's very important, because y'all not finna mess up my health. I'm about to go take a nap. I'm going to go sleep early. I will stream another day. Like,
I don't blame you at all.
I will see y'all.
What? I keep getting called the king of hiatuses, because I'm quick to be like, hey. I'm quick to be like, listen, gotta sit this one out.
I appreciate y'all, but we gotta. I'll see y'all in a minute. Yeah.
To get into the people, that's actually a good segue, actually. How in moving to Atlanta and seeing such a sense of community, and knowing that you have been welcomed into the Twitch community. You've been welcomed into the gaming community. You've been welcomed into the modeling community, dancing community. Like, you've been welcomed into so many communities, so you definitely know how communities work, and for the most part, because of course it's never one to one.
Mhm.
But now, being in those communities, you are also building your own.
Mhm.
How does everything that you may have learned, including from your move to Atlanta and just the different things that you do inside and outside career, inside and outside passions, how important is building the right community, and what is the right community that you want
Ooh.
to build?
Yeah. Community is important in every aspect of life. Absolutely. Aside from, we'll get to gaming in a minute. Yeah, moving down a big move is hard. It's hard for a lot of reasons, but one of the
Yes.
reasons is knowing people. If you don't know anyone where you're moving, it's hard.
Yeah.
It is. I have family here. Family's cool. But I want some friends.
Right.
So I was trying to figure out how to make friends. And when I got down here, it was a little rough. It's almost like dating. I mean, it's weird. But I made myself go to certain events and things, and because I knew that I needed, that community feel. I later on got some friends at work, which is nice, but I didn't quite have that, when first moving down here.
Right.
Still getting to know everybody that I work with, and then trying to figure out how I can meet people outside of work.
Right.
So I was lucky enough. One of the people I did know down here, he actually ended up adding me to this link up group me. It was like a group me full of, I guess it was a whole, not, I guess, I know it was a whole bunch of people that moved down here recently. And it was some people who are from here in this group me. And I don't even use GroupMe like that anymore. So this was like a time ago. No, but that actually helped kickstart some things, being in there and talking to people. I still have a handful of friends from that group that I still talk to. One of them actually helped me get where I'm living now. Like, she helped me find where I'm living.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's very important because, like I said, she helped me find where I'm living. Like,
Yeah. That's
like, I didn't know the area, right? I didn't know this area. Like, hello. Community is. I got Nala, my cat. I have a cat. Everybody, this is my pride and joy. Like, I love this cat, right? And I got that because of me meeting someone down here, and her and her roommate found this cat, and they were like, and she knew that I liked cats, and then I was talking about possibly getting a kitten, and she was like, "Hey, you want this kitten?" Yes, I want it. So I have where I live. I have, my companion, all because of community. I have even the same girl who helped me find where I live. She told me about this place where she got her furniture. I got my entire apartment furnished for very cheap. It was like $2,000 to get my entire apartment. Because I heard, like, you need it. And then, when it comes to Twitch, especially if you're a content creator, I always tell people, people always, when they're getting started, they always ask that question, like, you got any tips? What's the biggest tip? My biggest tip is community, and not just building your own, but being a part of other communities.
Yes.
That is one of the most important things you can do. And some people call it networking. I'm fine with calling it networking. Some people don't like cringe at the word networking.
Yeah.
To me, it's just making connections.
Yeah.
And, creating relationships with people. So before I began to stream, I was a part of communities. I was a part of other communities, so that when I did begin to stream, there's people who already knew me,
Right.
and they're willing to come hang out with me, and they're willing to talk to me, and they're willing to support me because we were already doing that,
Right.
And even after beginning to stream, I didn't stop. I found other communities and more communities that I genuinely like to be in, and genuinely just talk to people. And they pop up one day and be like, "Oh, I didn't know you streamed." You don't have to tell them, like,
Right.
unless it comes up in conversation. But I'm just having a genuine conversation with you in someone else's stream, and then you come across my channel and you're like, "Oh, hey," you know? So community is big. It's big.
I like that. I like that because community is definitely one of, like you said, one of, if not the most important thing, especially nowadays. Whether you're, it's like you said, it works for pretty much everything: life, mental health. Sometimes you need to be alone for mental health, but sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
really do need a community to just kind of have your back, mentally, and just kind of help talk you off of, to talk you out of, just spiraling out.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, to bank just on something that you said, with community and online community, do you do you feel like that's taking with how we are now? Because I know with the pandemic and quarantine and lockdown, everybody, like, online communities have
Mm-hmm.
almost tripled. It just
Yeah.
big boomed. Do you feel like online communities and networking, do you think that's gotten easier because of the massive influx of people, or do you think now, because everybody and their mama's doing everything, it's kind of harder to figure out what communities you feel more welcomed in?
I'll say no, because it's kind of like a type of thing. Um, or at least with me, like I don't know how to describe it, but like if I walk into a community and it's not really my the vibe,
Yeah,
I might show up still to support every now and then, but if it's not my vibe, I'm probably not gonna be there a lot, you know,
I feel that.
or because my time is being preoccupied with another community, which I don't know. I would say I'm a part of a hand. It's I think it's more interesting how many communities I am a part of, though. Like being online can open up. It's kind of like how many friends can you have in a lifetime? In a
Yeah.
lifetime, like you know, it's definitely it opens up a larger, like you said, a larger pool of people to get to know. But I think you can still balance that, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree, honestly, wholeheartedly too. Um, and to change the wheels on this a little bit, talking about you now. Yeah, you. Uh,
Mhm.
the future, the one of the biggest things that is
Sheesh.
unknown, that everybody is planning for, that everybody
Mhm.
has some type of preparation or fear of. In
Mhm.
so many different passions, what are you, and other than integrating, because I know you definitely talked about that, but if you do want to go into detail, please, by all means. But future TGI Kendra, what does that
Okay.
future look like?
I mean, I might have thought about it a little bit. You know, um, like way few. Okay,
You can
it's always hard. It's
go
really
off.
always hard to talk about the future. In terms of integration, though, yeah, let's because I still, like I said, I still haven't figured it out, but I definitely tried to think of certain things for the future for sure. In terms of modeling and dancing and trying to get that more on my stream, I
Mhm.
would love to, once I expand my equipment and get better equipment and upgrade and stuff, I would love to, take people into those worlds with me. Like if I have a dance class and I get permission from the instructor,
True.
maybe I can do, in real life. Yeah, that's how IRL
Yeah. Yeah.
IRL stream at a dance class. Maybe people can watch me there, or I can do an IRL stream, maybe behind the scenes of a shoot or getting prepared for a shoot. Not even like day of, just like getting prepared for a shoot.
Mhm.
Those are some things that I've thought about, not necessarily sold on them, but I've definitely thought about them. Integrating, you know, if we didn't have DMCA, I would have been doing some Just Dance or something.
I feel you. Oh my
You
god.
know, but with modeling, I've been thinking of things like, what if you know how we already have people partnering with certain companies and
Yeah,
things. Like, what if I'm thinking like, what if I could partner with a gaming company and model something? Like, what if
that'd be dope.
I don't know, HyperX has a new product coming out and I can be at the shoot, or I can, um,
That'd be
you
dope.
know, be. I would even. This is thinking far. I don't even know how to get into this, but I would even be interested in like being the. I don't really exactly know what it's called, but like the body model, I don't know, for a game. Like, you know how
I know
they
what you mean.
use a person, they use a
Like
person
the
to,
with the little thingies on
yeah, with
them.
the things on
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
They
The
use a
mocap,
person to
mocap. Pow,
be,
pow.
yes, they
I'm
use a
with you.
person to be the character, but
Yeah,
then somebody else might act the like
right.
voice. I would be interested in, doing stuff like that. I don't know, but
Be dope.
so it's definitely the possibilities are endless. Hosting, I would love to do some hosting. Um, get in my bag there a little bit. That would be great in the future. And then of course, growth to the moon. I don't know.
You know that's right. You
growth,
know
to,
that's right.
growth to the moon.
Talk
There's
your
no
shit.
cap on it. I don't even want to say. I don't even want to say. A number. Uh,
I'll talk your
but
shit. You go keep
no,
going.
I'm
Just
just
talk
saying.
your shit. Like
That's what the moon, man. But
I
yeah.
fucks with that. I fucks with that. And that's actually number one. You'll make a great host. I see you'll make a great host. Like that'd be fire. But yeah, that'd be dope. And that's ways that there's definitely innovative and creative ways to do things like that because of course everybody, you know, HyperX does like I'm just hypothetically, but like HyperX, when they put out keyboards or actual PCs or peripherals or gaming peripherals or anything of that nature, it's always like they always do the same thing. And trust and believe, as a visual production person, like it's always the same thing. They like show it with the light and then it spins around and it's like that's it. But it's like nah, like
Yeah.
it'd be cool to see real people, real
Mhm.
models, like doing them, like like
Mhm.
actually showcasing what the product is actually, whether it's in use or just for just good advertising. Just to kind of circle all the way back there. But
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
that's actually perfect to note. And I think that also with, your experience in advertising and wanting to integrate, like you said, you kind of know in a sense of a way what companies are looking for. So hopefully that helps the way you can
Okay.
innovate. You can kind of see, okay, this is a trend, but let me innovate this with integrating modeling, dancing, content, things of that nature. So that's actually a big plus. And also still on you, still talking, still on you. With other than like growth, what are you looking for, like just changes in the overall scope? Like if you had to just change certain things about the content scene, Twitch scene, things of that nature, like what are some things that you're hoping to see down the line?
Oh, interesting. That could go all over the place.
Hey, do it up. We here. We
One
grabbing.
of the things that's more recent that's been on my mind, because of the ex Mira and her Twitter Spaces,
Yes.
is these relationships between uh not content creators, but specifically gaming content creators and companies. Like, it seems like it's a very broken, or just like I hate to call it broken, but a relationship that is being built, but it's
Yeah.
it's very rocky.
Very true.
Because listening, like I said, listening in and having the insight that I have, you know, at work sometimes. So again, I'm an art director. So what that means is a lot of the times, the client says, "Hey, we want to sell this thing."
Hmm.
So they bring it to my company, and me and our team come up with, okay, well, to sell this thing, you should do this, and you should do this, and you should do this. So we're coming in with the ideas of how to sell their thing, whether that's a social idea, or a experiential idea where we do a pop up, or whether it's a commercial, we're saying this is how you should do it. So sometimes we come with ideas and we say this is how you should do it, and you should use an influencer to do it. And I've been on a couple projects where we used influencers, and none of them have been gaming influencers yet. I've been trying to like sprinkle some in, because we usually send the client a list, and I'll be trying to sprinkle.
I feel that.
But none of them have been gaming influencers yet. Some of them have just been just Instagram influencers, and some of them are foodies, or some of them are comedians, and some of them, whatever.
Right.
And just looking at what we pay them, solely at what we pay them, and then how we're communicating with them, it's very different than what I'm hearing on these spaces. And I even asked in one of the previous spaces, like, I wonder if this is just unique to gamer influencers. Like, is it just this issue? Like over here, like, are we the only ones getting paid pennies? Like,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I would love to learn more about that dynamic and see it improve for sure. Even if I could help it improve somehow, I don't really know. And then in terms of Twitch itself, they have their issues.
Yeah.
They got their security. They have their security issues, So definitely want to see that improve. I don't really have all the answers, but
they gotta lock that up. They gotta lock that up.
Yeah, I don't really have all the answers, but hopefully we can all come together and think of some solutions to help the community at large, the Twitch community at large. So I feel like those are the two biggest things I feel like I would love to see in the future for sure.
Nice. To piggyback off of that answer, would you like to more than likely you probably would, but would you like to, do you think a good answer behind, because I know exactly what you mean, where that the companies and gaming content creators it's rocky.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna get you in trouble, but you're right. It's rocky. It's rocky. Do you think that this might be the best way to ask this? Do you think that more gaming content creators, even just content creators in general, should be in those type of careers so they can kind of help mend it just on the back end? Because I feel like it's so rocky because there's this misunderstanding, because very few people have your type of path where you're able to see both sides of that. Like, you're able to see both fields. You're able to see which grass is greener at which time, and you're able to kind of point it out. Do you think like more content creators should try to take position in more companies like that to help bridge that gap?
I wouldn't say that they should.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if it happens like that, then great, because not everybody's gonna like what I do. So
fair.
So, but if it were more gamers who their day job are at companies like that, and they could help guide their company in dealing with these creators, then yeah, that would definitely help a lot. I think aside from that, especially with my industry and company, because a lot of the times, and they talk about this in the spaces too, sometimes you're talking directly to a company, because they might have liaisons that get influencers, but a lot of the times you're talking to an agency that the company hired, which is me. That's where I come in, right? So sometimes, and when that happens, when the latter happens, you're talking to an agency, they have restrictions, budget, who, what, when, where, why, type of thing. But I think that once, I don't know about the company side, I can't really speak for them, but once agencies begin to delve more into the gaming space, it'll get better on the agency side. Agency to influencer to agency to company side.
Right.
Because what I've recognized even in my own job is that they don't know much about Twitch. I'm like the Twitch guru at church. Like, I'm not church. Why I say church? At work. Church too. But at work, like, and they've told me that. I remember we've had some pitches where like some of our ideas that we put in have been about Twitch, but that's not the norm yet.
Right.
Like the Twitch ideas, the big Twitch ideas that we're pitching to people, they're just getting started. So we're learning about, we're just also coming to understand that gamers are equal to other influencers, I guess.
Yeah.
So as that understanding grows over the next few years, it'll be interesting to see if that gets better. Again, on the agency side, I don't know what companies I don't know what companies gonna be doing, but yeah.
I fucks with that. Hell yeah, I fucks with that. That's a amazing answer, and we're in the last 10 minutes. You did great. You doing great.
Wow.
Right. So in this last 10, I do want to just end it off. Of course, I always like ending things on light notes, and especially keep it on the person I'm talking to, which of course is you. With that, people that in growth, brands, sponsorships, who do you want to work with?
Oh, dope. That's a good question. Okay, let me think. Okay.
Yeah, do it up. Perfect collabs. Don't matter.
Yeah, in terms of people, I mean, that's a long list, man. In terms of people on Twitch, I feel like some good collab. I would love to collab with Story Mo Bay. That's freaking favorite GOAT streamer.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out. Favorite streamer, Cup of Noodle, of course. Sensei CJ. Just there's a whole bunch. Kiwi, Tasha,
right.
FLS Colors, like the list goes on. But in terms of companies, I'd love to do some collabs with Twitch, of course.
Right.
And then that's also because are we just talking about gaming?
No. You're a person of many passions. Collabs abound. Talk them up.
I'd love in terms of, and I've talked about this with a modeling coach before, like, what type of modeling would I like to do? And, I think I would fit very well into like the athletic, swimwear, whatever, what have you. So, any collabs with an athletic brand would be lit. It doesn't have to be Nike or Adidas.
I mean, talk your shit. Talk your shit,
though. I'm just saying, like, any of them would be lit. My stream be yelling, talking about a Fenty collab. I'm like, all right, calm down.
Talk your shit. Yo, chat.
Talk your shit. What's very interesting, though, I would actually like to do a collab with Blue Apron. Because I talk about them on a daily. I've been using Blue Apron. So people who don't know what Blue Apron is very similar to HelloFresh. They're a meal service. They send you fresh ingredients and they send you recipes and you can cook all the stuff at home. I've had Blue Apron since my birthday last year, actually. So last March, and I've kept it. Every week I get meals and I love them. I would love to do a collaboration with freaking Blue Apron. But I don't know, the list goes on. But I think out of those, the ones that I would be most smiley about are those people, though. Those are the people that, coming into the space I looked up to and continue to look up to. Some of them are close friends, some of them are, would love to be closer friends, but we're cool. So I would love to do something with them on a grand scale or small scale, but we'll see.
That'd be dope. I'm gonna put you on a spot real quick. Let's see. Not take the people that you listed. It doesn't have to be all of them, but it can be one or two, and you don't have to even give a name. But what is outside of gaming? If you had to make a collab, what you got? On the spot, boom.
What? See, Well, I'm hesitating because I actually been having this idea.
Oh yeah, switch that idea. Switch
technically-
up the real idea. Don't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have you. I don't want to.
That's why I'm like, damn, I can't think of a spot like that. I don't know. In real life, road trip. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
You know, that'd be lit.
That'd be dope.
Or like, you know,
That'd
once
be
COVID clears up at some point.
That'd be dope.
Once that clears up at some point, just like because a lot of the people I named, they're just so chill and so dope. You know, like a family cookout, Twitch family cookout would be so lit. You know,
That'd be dope.
Just chilling. You know,
that'd be dope. See,
just chilling. That ain't even gotta be. You know,
that'd be fire.
That'd be lit.
That would be lit.
But you know, we got the people on the grill, got some spades going, got some.
Do you know how to play spades?
Of course.
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Good. Oh, thank God.
A lot of people, I'd be surprised now. People are
it's funny.
unlearning spades at this point.
There's a lot of people who don't know how to play spades, but you want to know why? I wish I had my little zoom in effect on it. Because Black people don't never want to teach nobody. So
I actually teach by getting yelled at and learning. It's like
this actually is a segue to an idea that I've been having. I've been talking about it forever. I still haven't done it because I need to sit down and think about the logistics. I'm fine with saying it, but I wanted to have a spades tournament on stream. And part of the stream would be, of course, having the tournament. The other part of the stream would be like teaching people to play spades.
I
like if
that.
you don't know how to play, we're about to teach you right now because I know ain't nobody else about to teach your grown ass how to play.
You cannot be hitting 30s and not know how to play spades. I'm sorry.
It was actually an Insecure. Sorry, anybody who ain't seen it. I'm not spoiling too much, but there's a line.
You ain't watching
there's
now.
a line that there's a line that one of them say, and it's like, "Girl, ain't nobody about to teach you no spades at your grown age." Like something. So, you know, part of the stream would be teaching people spades, and then the other part of the stream, just to fill up time, would be like, you know, maybe there's a tier list. Because where did we play spades the most? We play spades at like the cookouts and stuff. So maybe it's a cookout tier list, or you know, with like different cookout foods. And so I've been wanting to do that. I need to get that together. I just need to.
You heard it here first. So you heard it here first. So y'all. All right, take this idea.
Spades tourney, let's go.
Pull up.
Get some bows.
That'll be fun. Okay. So TwitchCon 2022, I gotta bring some cards, I see.
Oh, that too, yeah. Pull up.
I gotta bring some cards, I see.
Bring some cards. Bring some cards. Yeah. So.
All right. And that's it.
It was great.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for having me on.
Of course. And of course, before I end the recording, please tell us everything, everywhere we could find you. And of course, all your links will be in the description below, of course. But please give the reins.
Okay, yeah, you can find me on everything at TGIKendra. That's Instagram. Twitter actually has an underscore at the end, but still, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. I ain't posted no TikToks yet for real, but you know, soon to come, maybe.
Hey.
Just all the platforms, even YouTube. So check me out, and come say hi.
Y'all better say hi to TGIKendra. Y'all come on now. But yes, all links will be in the description below. Kendra, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being my first interview of 2022 and quite possibly my best. This is up there. I appreciate it. It was so good talking to you.
It
really was. And of course, this will not be the last time. Of course, you know, I'll be in touch and I'll be in your stream talking about auntie boys and things of that nature, like I usually do.
We gotta get together and I gotta ask you all the questions next time. Okay?
Yes. And you're lucky I didn't put you on the spot because I would have asked you to freestyle, but I was like, maybe.
Oh, please no.
That might be another time because this definitely not gonna be the last time.
Another day.
But yes, y'all go check out TGIKendra, an amazing content creator in all her passions. And this has been another episode of Per-Sception. Happy New Year, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.